Whitey's kind of the John Wayne.
Whitey is a legend because there's nobody else like him.
He's always there to ask, what can I do to help you? How can we be more involved?
One in a million kind of person. I mean, just one in a million.
To have his name here at Rogers High School just means a tremendous amount for our community.
He's the most giving human being I've ever met.
This is Spirit 52, recapturing the real spirit of high school sports in Arkansas. Presented by Gatorade and First Security Bank, inspiring us all to what's possible.
The year was 1956. Eisenhower was president. Kids were listening to the music of Elvis Presley. And in the sleepy town of Rogers, Arkansas, a young man began a life of service to his community that has endured for over half a century.
You know, Whitey's a man with a great heart. You mentioned Rogers, or you mentioned Rogers Athletics, you know, you think about him.
After graduating from Rogers High, Albus Whitey Smith began volunteering for Mountie athletic events where he would serve for the next 50 years. But it was a need for funds that gave birth to the legend that is Whitey's Chicken.
I was looking for a fundraiser for my cheer and dance teams, and some of my cheer parents said, "Do you do the chicken cooks?" And I was like, "What is a chicken cook?" And they explained what Whitey does for the community.
It was a little fundraiser we started 50-some, 60 years ago. We did it for a couple of organizations back then. Tyson, they furnished me chicken for 50 years. We got the chicken, furnished the labor and everything, and they sold the chicken and got all the money.
But then our kids would get community service hours for working it, which is a plus. And the fact that they had all these men showing them what giving back to community means.
It's such a tradition in Rogers. You can see the smoke. We're on our way to the Razorback game, and I'm sure somebody's selling chicken today, and we'll grab some for them.
In almost 60 years of Saturday chicken cooks, it's estimated that Whitey and his crew have raised over $1 million for athletics in Rogers.
That doesn't concern me. We did it for football, basketball, track, volleyball, all of them. If you're a millionaire, if you don't have a penny, you're the same to me.
There's not a Mountie athlete that's come through here, or not a Little League baseball player or anybody that Whitey hasn't in some way impacted.
In 2013, Rogers High School honored Whitey Smith for a lifetime of service by naming their new football stadium after him.
Rogers Public Schools can never say thank you enough for all the hard work and dedication that he gives to the young people. He's just a tremendous person.
Everybody's going to remember Whitey. He's just such a giving man, great human being. People may forget about the fundraisers, but they'll never forget him.
I want them to be able to continue the story in giving back, whatever that looks like to them, giving back to your community, giving back to your schools. He set the bar here in Rogers very high.
I don't even think rare is a good term. I think one in a million. I don't think it happens anywhere else. I really don't.
I'm a friend to everybody. Everybody is somebody. They like to be treated like somebody.
I hope you enjoyed this week's story brought to you by First Security Bank. Here's a sneak peek at next week's episode.
To make an inter-school rivalry have some value and meaning makes it way more exciting when you're playing for something. We've seen in some of the other splits in the conference that those games aren't always for hardware. In year two of the rivalry, it makes for a lot of excitement.